Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm George.
I'm Stav.
Today we're going to be talking about a couple different very important components, DSG catch cans and engine catch cans, and why they're important. I've been running them for a better part of a year and a half now, drag racing when the motor was stock, now with the built motor, and why, if you own a Ttrs, RS3, or pretty much any modified vehicle, why should you run an engine catch can? And for those of you guys running the DSG, Audi, Volkswagen cars, why a DSG catch can is critical, especially in the AV RS3. What can you prevent? What does it help? What are the benefits of it? And then on the engine side, what's the point of it? Is it needed? Is it required? Do built motor guys only have to do it? Can you do it with a stock motor? We're going to be covering it today in this episode. So consider this a small tech discussion with a couple of we're not professionals,
we just play them on YouTube.
Correct. So we're going to give you guys some information from what we've gathered, and one of the reasons, again, mainly why I've chosen to run a DSG catch can and an engine catch can on the RS3, and the reason why I went with the MotorSports billet catch cans for my RS3 and the benefits that they bring. So let's kick it off. Without further ado, let's get it right into the DSG catch can itself. DSG catch can, what's the point of it? Why should you run it? Stuff.
Well, other than the fact that it's silver, so you should never run a silver part. They also come in black, so thank God. On the factory cars, when you start to launch them, they create so much pressure, especially if they ever, like on a factory car, start slipping. It creates a lot of heat in the oil. They start to blow pressure out the top of the factory breather on it.
So they don't redrain or anything like that?
Correct. So sometimes we there'd be factory cars when we'd go drag racing or just, a couple pulls on the streets in Tijuana, you'd find oil all underneath the hood of this car. We couldn't figure out what it was.
Pretty much everywhere here, along with the ECU box too.
Correct. So iROS came out with a catch can, and ever since then, now the engine bay is clean. I know it's still silver, so you can't really pay attention to that, but now it's actually pretty clean.
Aside from that, the main reason why we wanted to run a DSG catch can in this car, RS Motorsport came out with one of the first ones to hit the market. It's one of the largest, and it's also self-draining, and it's fairly simple to install. So it clears your factory air box, it clears your aftermarket carbon intake boxes. Essentially, any intake you want to run, this thing will fit around to. And then it also self-drains. That's one of the main benefits of having this system. Now, a lot of people argue, well, you can build your own, catch can for, $10 and it'll do just the part. Listen, when you're buying a vehicle of this caliber, you're modifying, you're going racing. I mean, having fluids spill, spit all over the place. Some DSG catch cans have I don't know, some people have posted online that it caused them to blow seals out in their transmission. I'm telling you now, you're going to want to go with something that's encased, that's vented, and that self-drains back into the car, because you don't want to get these oils, number one, all over your stock ECU. If you guys end up going with Cybex, all over Cybex.
Another issue is that, you also don't have a fill tube for your DSG, so every time you keep venting it out and it goes all over the car, you don't know if you're potentially running the car low on DSG fluid. So having one of these helps you maintain the fluid level.
Correct. And on top of that, guys, you don't want to soak up your engine bay with oils. Number one, that's the easiest way to get kicked off the track. Okay, when you guys are doing your tech inspection, for those of you guys that have picked up this car to go drag racing, to go half-mile racing, tech inspection, the one thing they're going to look at to see if you're leaking fluids. And if you're leaking DSG fluid, or you're leaking engine oil, or any other type of fluid that may endanger another driver, that's one of the reasons why they probably won't let you race, or you won't be able to pass tech. So keep in mind, if you're going to be racing, if you're going to be active with your car, aside from it looking beautiful, obviously this thing's been with us for about a year and a half. I beat the piss out of this thing.
How many times have you thrown water, ice, the fans sit on this thing? We've literally...
Oh yeah, it doubles as a fan mount, by the way.
Yeah, fan mount, yeah. iROS Motorsport designed it for the fan mount, so you can cool down your motor in between runs.
So again, guys, keep in mind, it's not just an expensive trinket that you're looking to buy. You're buying something that is built, tested, race proven, and something that you're getting your money's worth, as opposed to paying a couple $100 for something that's really thin or plastic or cheap. You're getting billet aluminum. It's made here in America.
Other things that people keep asking us is, when is it necessary? And we've seen cars like ours originally when it was stage 1, stage 2, And even stock cars, some people have reported that the oil was popping out, and all the way up to the IMS 1000, IMS 1100. Basically, this is one of the first mods you should do before going big turbo.
Keep in mind, guys, so when I picked up this vehicle, it was bone stock. I used launch control leaving the dealership, right? I got home about an hour and a half later coming back from Calabasas, and I came in, popped the hood, wanted to show Stav the car, and there was fluid all over. Couldn't figure out why. The first thing we did when we went stage 2, we hit up Hank. He said there's something in the works. They wanted to make something. Correct. A few months later, this is early 2018, they came out with this part, and we've been running it ever since. Almost 2 years now running this catch can.
About 2 years.
So keep in mind, mine was originally polished, kind of clean billet aluminum. I've kind of scratched it up. I've used it again as a fan mount. But if you guys are contemplating getting a DSG catch can, don't look anywhere else but RS Motorsport. And again, the results speak for themselves. You get a heavy-duty part that's hard mounted to the chassis, fits, doesn't get in the way of anything, fits within your stock intake, and it does its job really well.
And most importantly, it comes in black, so you don't have to get silver.
Yes, so they do come in anodized black too, but I ended up obviously getting silver, and I got silver on the engine catch can system. So actually, now that we're talking about that stuff, going over to the RS Motorsport engine catch can, why don't you give us a little background on why people run engine catch cans, maybe some information on why it's important on this motor, whether it's stock, lightly modified, built. What's the benefit of this?
Well, especially at our level, I mean, you can go back all the way to stock, but even on like stock 2.0 turbos and 2.5s like this motor is, the catch can helps out a lot with for the direct injection, for the top of the carbon cleaning. They say it adds benefit, but especially with the higher cylinder pressures that we have in the motor, it allows the oil to not, to go into here before it goes into the PCV system.
And then this is something that can easily come off. It's just lightly mounted to the chassis. It's still billet aluminum. You take it out, you drain it. I think I drain it once every 2 or 3 oil changes.
And again, most importantly, it also comes in black, so you don't have to get silver.
But again, guys, this is something, if you're looking to make a small investment into the life of your vehicle, especially in the RS3 or TTRSs, they get so much abuse. People race them. Yeah. People go and beat the hell out of them. They're almost like the old Evo 8s. You're not going to find one that hasn't been messed with. Definitely pay a couple extra bucks and get the components.
I can't wait till people start writing in the comments, you comparing the RS3 to the Evo. We're going to have a lot of comments.
But what I meant by that comparison, guys, and I hope it came across pretty clear, the Evo 8 was one of the most popular vehicles of its time, and I even almost bought one back in the day. The problem is you can't really find one that hasn't been molested. The RS3 and the TTRSs, if you're buying new, obviously you're not getting something that's been beat on, but if you're buying something certified pre-owned, if you're buying something used, just know that it was taken. The car was used to take people to Gapplebee's at some point or another, or it was done at some Mexico street racing, whether someone wants to admit it or not. So again, these are small investments that you guys can make in ensuring the life of your vehicle, especially when it comes to your engine, especially when it comes to your transmission. The transmission, brand new, I think is anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000, and the motor is somewhere up there now.
15 grand.
Yeah. So Stav, in closing of this video, why should someone, in your opinion, run any kind of catch cans if they're looking to modify their cars? Is this something that's worth it? Is this something that?
Well, I believe the DSG catch can is proven worth it, even all the way from stock all the way to the IMS 1000 we have on the car. The engine catch can is another added feature, especially for all the higher cylinder pressures we run, and these cars when you go to stage 2 and how bad we abuse them and beat on them. And long term, it has proven that it helps with the carbon buildup on top of the valves when so you don't have to do the carbon cleaning on these motors. And third, it comes in black, so you do not.
I'm done with you. I'm done. Guys, in closing, the reason why I've chosen to stick with the RS Motorsport, obviously, the components are top tier. They're well manufactured. They're made here in the United States.
But more importantly, it's well tested.
And that's what I was trying to get to too. Is that if you're going to be going with parts that go fast in a car, go with a company that's going fast. Right now, RS Motorsport holds pretty much every other record when it comes to drag racing, half-mile racing, whether it be draggy footage, that people getting draggy records now with all their GPS racing that they're doing on the street, or in Mexico. Again, there's a reason why I've stuck together with these guys for so long. They know their stuff. It's race-proven. It's battle-tested. And I've been running them now for the past year and a half, and I haven't been able to break them. So if you're looking for one, look no further, guys. Check out Iris Motorsport.
And it comes in black, don't forget.
I'm George, guys. This is Malaka Motorsports.
I'm Stav.
Thank you guys for watching. This was a short clip talking about engine and DSG catch cans and why I chosen to go that route. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust.